Hey everybody, DC here with James White, aka Signalnoise. Welcome.
Hey, thanks a lot, DC. Once again, thank you for having me. It's great to virtually see you again.
That's right. I am so excited you're back, and we have a lot to talk about. This is great. This is wonderful. How are you doing? I mean, it's been crazy, right? It's been years in the metaverse, right?
Yeah, that's how it goes, man. Yeah. A hell of a lot has been going on and has happened in the last 2 months. Not just in my life, but in everybody's, it seems. Yeah, we've all aged about 30 years, and we're all teenagers when we started, and now we're all in our 50s. So
yeah, no Great. Kidding. I actually started walking with the walker the other day because it's it's been so long. You know, I was exercising and doing P90X, and now I'm just I've got this long white beard, so it's
yeah, man. I'm in the market to get a motorized wheelchair with the chains on the wheels. It's crazy. Weird times.
It's so weird. But yeah, so tell us. You've been busy. You've been very busy. Yeah. We won't go into the next thing here, but what else have you been doing besides the thing we're talking about?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, we're here to talk about crypto art and NFTs and all that kind of stuff, and that's been a massive part of my life outside of the project that we're going to be talking about, the drop that we're going to be talking about. Just within the last month, 2 months, and I'm sure this is the case for a lot of people in the scene. Like, I cannot believe how many new friends I have. Like, and I feel comfortable saying friends within the scene, because going from knowing nothing about so many people that I'm now in contact with, not knowing their work, not knowing who they are or whatever, to make such great connections in such a short period of time, where it's like instantly, like, I want to support this person. Like, I want to promote them as much as I can. Their work is dope, and they don't have nearly as many followers as they deserve. And just to have that connection with other artists has been incredible. And I've noticed it just like potently within the last 2 months. The people that I'm following, the art I've been exposed to, different than what I typically gravitate toward, which has been incredible. Not to dive too deep into it, but going through like 2010 to 2020, you kind of end up in these search bubbles or filter bubbles where the internet tends to give you more of the things that it knows you already enjoy. Right. Which is limiting when it comes to discovering new artists. So, the internet's always telling me, like, here's some new people that do 80s art, which is amazing, but I don't really get outside of that bubble too often. And crypto art, again, within the last 2 months, has been an incredible breach of that filter bubble where, I've been exposed to so many different artists and artwork and styles and stuff that I didn't realize I would enjoy until it was in front of me. And it's been a wild ride, man. It's been real wild. And artists and collectors alike. I've connected with a few collectors that are into the scene to the point of, like, they are just thirsting for exposure to new stuff. And that excitement and enthusiasm is something I haven't witnessed since the early days of the internet, like early 2000s Flash days. So it's been amazing. It's been an amazing couple of months, man.
Wow, you're giving me chills here, honestly. So there's so many questions, but you're 100% right. I mean, I turn on my Twitter feed. I'm looking at so much art, and it makes me feel really good, because I wouldn't do that. I used to go on Pinterest back a few years ago, and I used to grab some art that I liked, and it just seems, it didn't feel the same, right? You just kind of gravitate towards the stuff that you're interested in. And now I'm seeing all this new stuff coming up, and it's just, it gets me even more excited about art. And I mean, but first, I know we're going to explore this a little bit, but for those of you who haven't seen James's work and know about Signalnoise, just a really brief summary of what we've talked about, your game covers. We've talked about your different art pieces, your posters, Metallica stuff. Just a quick summary, and also your audio work, because I didn't get to that last interview, and I'm really upset about that. But tell us a little bit about what you've done. Just a quick summary.
Yeah, sure. Well, as DC said, my name is James White, and I run a studio called Signalnoise. I say studio, but it's just me. I'm a freelance illustrator, graphic designer, visual artist, and I do work that is neon-infused and very inspired by the 1980s. That's when I grew up. That's when I was a child, and I'm still inspired by all the stuff that I grew up with. So He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Iron Maiden album covers, Metallica, all that kind of stuff, Chrome, text, the network, the NBC network Peacock with the rainbows and stuff, like all of that stuff has seeped into my work. And I've managed to build a visual language around Signalnoise, and also managed to be able to do that kind of work, that style, for clients that would hire me. So I worked with, to name a few, like DC said, I worked for Metallica, I worked for Muse, Nike, Google, Universal Music, Warner Brothers. I did some stuff for the Lego Movie sequels, some character designs and things, and it's been a very fortunate ride. I've been very lucky to have been able to do this stuff professionally. When prior to making a name for myself, I could only do this stuff on my own time, evenings and weekends, goofing around until 2 a.m. and stuff. So it's been a fun ride over the past decade and a half. But I'm just in a very lucky position currently. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, I'm also like a public speaker. I go to conferences, and when we could remember conferences, remember when
what?
Remember those things?
People gathered?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, and I also get up on stage and talk about the kind of work that I do in graphic design, and kind of motivate younger designers to try to find their creative path and their creative voice. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to get up on stage, but it's more fun to talk to other people about the path that they're on and the work that they want to do. So yeah, it's been that's about a synopsis of my studio. I've been freelance for about a decade, probably 10 years, and but I've been a professional designer since 1998 when I first got into the scene, designing really terrible websites.
I remember those. I used to design them.
Nice. Yeah, they're awful.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean that. Thank you for that. That gives people an idea of your portfolio and just all the awesome projects that you've done. And I do mean awesome. And so this is the question, right? So you've been seeing this crypto art scene, and you're excited about it, and you've been seeing the new stuff popping up, and it's this innovative thing that's happening with the mixed medias, and it's so fresh and clean. Does that inspire you to do different things? I mean, are you always thinking like, what's my next thing? Are these new pieces, are they like engaging you to think about your next thing?
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, that's a great question, and I think I'm in a position that a lot of people are in, where it's sort of equal parts stimulus. It's sort of or stimuli, I suppose, like the urge to create and get your name out there, but also and this is kind of a part that causes trouble sometimes. You want to keep up with people, and that can be inspiring, but it can also be very tiring. Because, as we said, crypto moves very fast, and trying to keep up with that is almost impossible. But seeing what other people are doing in the crypto scene is incredibly inspiring, because there's no boundaries to what can be done, and I'm talking about animation. I'm talking about just graphic language in general, but also audio and how all those things can mix together. 3D, 2D, whatever. And that is really inspiring, because it's, when like going through my design process before, all I would have to worry about is making a static image that could be printed on a poster, which is those are really easy parameters, because there's nothing else to worry about. It just sits there the way you designed it. But with crypto art, when you can do anything you want, is like within the bounds of technology, which is vast, that opens a lot of doors. Like, yes, it can be intimidating, but it's also incredibly inspiring. So, you know, I'm trying to flex as many muscles as I can within that space to see, like, what do I want to do? Not so much to keep up, but what do I want to say? What do I want to produce? How do I want my art to be experienced or perceived? Which are big questions when you're an artist. And I've never felt like any of that stuff was really in reach, to be honest. Like, if I'm printing something on a poster or a t-shirt, yeah, that's amazing. I love doing that. But this is different. You can tell more of the story in a shorter period of time when you're developing something for an NFT or for crypto art. So it's incredibly inspiring, and it does make me want to explore new things outside of the bounds that I already know, for sure. And that's like without question, just seeing what other people are doing.
Oh man, yeah, it did, and that makes me excited because I do want to see. I just love seeing what people are coming up with, you know, and then I look at artists like such as yourself, and I'm just saying, wow, what's next? Like, what can? I mean, sky's the limit, right? I mean, anything could happen. I mean, you could do. Absolutely. You could do anything. You could do art with programming. You could do art with music. You could do art with all of those together. You could do, you know, if this happens, then this happens type of stuff. And I think, and that's where it kind of hits my programmer's, you know, analyst type sense. And that's what I do for work, of course. But I'm just like, wow, what, you know, think outside the box, right? And it's like a new medium is being created, and that's amazing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, the canvas has never been larger, man, you know, and it's really exciting, really crazy, and really scary. And outside of like creating new work as well, and I know other of my peers in the industry are doing the same thing, crypto art can also be a home for past work. You know, like, and that's kind of, I've been diving into my archives a little bit and pulling things out, saying like, would this be suitable for an NFT? Is it something that could be polished up? Is it something that could be animated? You know, and it breathes new life into old work. And that's also something that I'm really into. You know, I live in the past. My wife tells me that all the time. I'm a raging nostalgist even when it comes to my own work, because I'll look at something and go like, I remember exactly where I was and what was going through my head and what I was listening to when I was creating this piece of work. So crypto art allows me to kind of explore my own past, really, and add new stories and new narratives to work that otherwise would just be buried on a hard drive, you know?
It's true, and it's honestly I think the biggest appeal of your work is you do have that nostalgia, right? For me anyway, because I've lived that era and I love that era, and I know that actually, you know, kids that did not grow up in that era actually love that era, which is interesting. Because it was the best era, right?
Absolutely. You know, I'm not biased, but our childhood was the best.
It was. And you know, it's like the cartoons, the toys, the just the feeling, right? The music, everything had feeling, right? Even the cereal commercials.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, and you know what's crazy, DC? Like, I found a couple of YouTube streams of like Saturday morning cartoons, and it wasn't just the cartoon episodes. It was like fully recorded giant segments from Saturday mornings, including all the commercials. And it was, oh man, memory lane, holy crap. But though it was amazing how much cereal was planted into our brains. It was insane. Like every commercial segment had at least 2 cereal ads in it. It did? Yeah, it was absolutely crazy. Like, I know more about Cocoa Pebbles than no grown man should know. Like, I don't know.
Count Chocula. You know, what was the other one? Fruity Pebbles. Yeah. Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms, man. Yeah. And Tricks. You know, whatever that rabbit was, he could never have his tricks because the kids wouldn't let him. And, you know, kids were jerks in those commercials, too. They're always trying to take the Lucky Charms off of the leprechaun, and they're trying to chase the rabbit. They won't let him have any. Kids are jerks.
You know, and they're total jerks. And then you have the like those games, those board games, like Crossfire. I mean, you could get caught in that, right? I mean,
you know what? That's a game that I've always wanted, but I never got it on any of my birthday lists or Christmas lists. Like, that was one with the ball bearings, right? That you shoot at.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah.
God, I've always wanted that game. Yeah, it's
Oh,
awesome.
me too. Yeah, my friends had it, and then you'd always lose the pieces, though, right?
Of course. Oh yeah, man.
But that, I mean, that really brings us to this, like this nostalgia, and so what people don't have these days is we're all focused on digital a lot, right?
Yeah.
And we never have the physical anymore so much, and NFTs are great because we have that digital and we have that ownership that we don't get from just a JPEG, right, or a GIF, and we have that sense of ownership, and some people don't get it, but we get it, and then eventually they'll get it because it's the natural progression of things.
Sure.
But also having that physical with your NFT is really really cool, right?
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, and no, I'm glad you brought that up. No, but there is some thought behind that too. Like, and this is something, and this is just me. I know that people in crypto art, a lot of people don't care about the physical side, and that's totally fine. But for people of our ilk, I suppose, like people that grew up in, like, again, going back to the 1980s, it was we had a physical collector mentality. And you look over my shoulder right here, these are all my Image comics from the early 90s. It's my complete collection. And over here is my Nintendo Powers. That's my Nintendo Power collection right there. And it was trying to get a full set of X was always on our mind. I want a complete set of that first run of G.I. Joe action figures or He-Man or whatever. And so to me, and this is just me speaking personally, I've always had a collector mentality when it comes to physical. So that was one of the first things that popped into my head back in September when I was brought into the crypto art scene, was like, this is all digital, and that's amazing. And that technological ability, like we were talking about, is incredible within those confines. But how can I merge that with something that's physical, something that I can hold in my hand or put on my shelf? And that gray area is really interesting to me. That's something that, like, how can these two things be connected, where you can have one thing on your screen that you own, as you said, but you can also have the corresponding thing sitting on the shelf in your office or whatever. So that gray area is really interesting, and it's something like, it doesn't actually exist. It only exists kind of up here, the way we understand how NFTs work and how physicals work. But connecting the two and adding value to the pair is something that I'm super interested in, and that's something that I've been exploring, or in my own way, I suppose. And I've seen other people do it through other ways. I mean, we know, like, everybody knows the first Beeple drop, how he had those physicals with the screens, and which is beautiful. I mean, that was like the first time I've seen anything happen where it's like, it's a digital thing, but it's a physical thing. And he blended it even better, because it actually is, the physical thing represents the digital thing. It's actually on the screen. So it's a weird, awesome gray area that's very interesting to me. And I can't wait to see sort of where that goes in the future. And just to go off on one a little bit, like, I know somebody online, I can't remember the company's name, but they're developing sort of holograms in those, like, glass cubes. Have you seen this thing? Yeah. And it's like, that's amazing, because so something like that, you could purchase an NFT, so you do have it here, but then you could be shipped this glass cube that has an actual 3-dimensional representation, like via a hologram, that looks physical, looks like the physical thing you see on your screen. Like, that is, like, okay, how do I get a goddamn something in there?
Sign me up for that.
How can I get a Masters of the Universe in that?
That's exactly right. And what's interesting is, our era, we love the collectibles, right? We love the toys, and going through, Toys R Us or whatever, rest in peace. But going through and seeing the toys on the shelves, and the excitement, right? The excitement, and picking those up and then bringing them home and taking them out and just playing with those as a kid. It was just, I mean, there's nothing else like that. Like, I don't even understand how kids play these days, right? And our family, and this is the interesting thing, our family spans multiple generations. And each one, we're like 10 years apart on each one. And everyone kind of feels that, even though we're in this digital age, they still feel the need to actually grab a physical item, Yeah. And I think that, with NFTs, there is this innovation and craziness going on, and we do feel something for the NFTs, and I certainly do, because I won't give away any of mine. I hold with diamond hands, but no, I also want to have that physical too, because it's there, it's with you, and then you could look at it, and I do want that hologram as well, but I want it all. You want to eat your cake, you want to have your cake, you want to eat it too, you want to have everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I'm glad you brought up that Toys R Us, rest in peace, thing about going down the toy aisle and seeing all of those things, and just stepping away from physicals for a second. I felt that today. Literally today, when I was looking at somebody's crypto art project, Baka Arts released a project called Surrogates, where it's all of these. I think it's a templated character with all of these different designs around each character, so they look unique to one another. And I think 50 of them were illustrated, and I felt that feeling going to that gallery today. I think it's on OpenSea, if I'm not mistaken, and looking at all of those different surrogate character designs. I felt that. I felt like I was standing in front of the toy aisle and looking at all the G.I. Joes and trying to figure out which one would I get, which is incredible. And that it's amazing that something like this in a digital medium can evoke that sort of a feeling, So anyway, that just popped into my head when you said that. So I felt that earlier today when I went to check out that project. Which is crazy. Great project too. Great designs. I love it.
Yeah, I love that. When I open up OpenSea and I look through some stuff, and there's new projects coming on every day.
Every day, man. Hell yeah, there's a lot.
But it is like walking through that toy store and saying, "Hey, which one should I get here?"
Yeah. Straight up, man.
So that leads us to the best place here. So you got to tell us about your new project, because this is really what we're talking about here. This is the NFT. This is the physical. This is everything. So yeah, let us see this. Let us see this.
All right, man. Well, let me share a screen here,
okay.
And I'll just switch over to my thing here. Just once you got it set up, just let me know, because I can't see anything when I got this dumb thing in front of me.
You are ready to go.
All right, man. We're in calibration mode. All right. You see the title screen now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're good. So anybody here, DC, again, thank you very much for having me. And the entire whale community, huge shouts. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. And thank you again, because me and DC, we spoke in January, I believe, right? It was late January or something like that.
Has it been that long? Or has it been that short? I don't know.
Time is slippery, dude. Time is slippery. So anyway, I'm going to do a quick synopsis. If you haven't seen the first talk and you want to get a full catch up of this first little bit, you can check that out on the Whale YouTube channel. The full conversation is there and stuff. But I'm just going to do a quick synopsis. I've been into the NFT scene since September, and here's a bunch of NFTs that I've released since then. And as you can see, if you're tuning in earlier, 1980s is my jam. I love neon sunsets and hot pink and all that stuff. So here's a bunch of the stuff that I released. And for this project in particular that we're going to be talking about, I have to quote David Bowie. My man, Brendan Deux, sent me this quote really early on in my NFT days. And he said, don't play to the gallery, which is great. Develop the kind of stuff that you want to develop. Develop the kind of stuff that, figure out what you want to say rather than trying to play to something that's already there. Because one is more personal and one isn't. So it's a really important quote, and big shouts to my man Brendan for sending me that. So again, we're talking about Masters of the Universe, He-Man, growing up with my favorite toy line, muscle figures. Don't know if you remember these dudes. Some of my favorite toy lines, and Ninja Turtles. So these were the inspiration for the project that I'm going to be showing you today. And I've been drawing my entire life and inventing my own characters my entire life. Here are a bunch of wrestlers or fighters I invented when I was 11 years old in 1988. And all of this stuff inspires and informs the project I'm going to be talking about, which is the Nukes. line of action figures. So a little quick catch up. The character we're going to be talking about is the Neon Reaper, and I first designed him back in 2013, 2014, and he was kind of like a sub-villain in another project, but I really liked what the design looked like. If you spotted my biker vest that I'm wearing right now, it's the same vest. I just designed my character after my upper body, apparently. So when I started developing the Nukes line, I redesigned the character and retooled him to fit the new templated body type. And I got that body type into Vector, into Illustrator, fleshed out the design, got it into Photoshop, did the render in there. And this was initially going to be the final destination for the Nukes line of action figures. It was going to be a digital action figure. But I looked at this thing, and it's not good enough. So I knew that this thing had to be rendered in 3D to look real. So I started learning 3D in October. I did not know how to use Blender, and now I know how to use it terribly, but I know how to use it. So, and we started developing what the body type looks like, and I got a body type developed, and this is the very first prototype body, and I offered this as an NFT at the suggestion of my wife, and she was right. These things sold out. I sold 10 of them, and it was great. I thought there was a little audience for action figures. So back to the Neon Reaper, I looked at this and started developing what the Neon Reaper would look like in 3D, and got to this. Big shouts to my buddy Basil Murad, who helped me out with a lot of the tips and tricks of Blender too, and got the Reaper to a place where I was happy with it. However, it's not good enough. So this was maybe November or December of last year, and I was looking at the Reaper and I said, it's not good enough. Why? Because if I showed a 3D render on a screen to 4-year-old James White, he's not going to be impressed. He's not going to be impressed because it's not real. So over the Christmas holidays, I did up a little mock render of the Neon Reaper in a package design. I threw this together in a day or two, and I did the little render, and I ran downstairs and showed my wife and said, I think I have to make real action figures. And she looked at this and said, yeah, I think you're right. So this is when the journey started. And I got to give a big shout out to my man, Evan Morgan, 3D toy maker, like physical toy maker that I've been working with on the Neon Reaper. And he's been absolutely awesome. Take a screen grab of this if you want to go and check out his work. He's fantastic. He's a man of his craft. And this is where we left off last time, DC. So the last time we had a chat, I was sent this picture of the first 3D print of the Neon Reaper, and like I was almost crying and stuff because I've never seen one of my creations, one of my character designs in physical space. That's never happened to me before, and it was incredibly moving. So now we got a lot of updates because the Neon Reaper started to take shape over the last 2 months. I was getting these updates from Evan as he was painting the Neon Reaper, as he was casting all the individual elements like the head and the upper body and the arms and the legs, and putting all of these things together and slowly seeing the Reaper come to life, which is a really ominous sentence, but it was true. The Reaper was coming to life, and he paints all these by hand, by the way. And I'm gonna be talking about that a little bit. Like every one of these Neon Reapers that are going to be available, and I'll get those details later on. They're all hand casted and hand painted by one person in his workshop. And that's a huge part of this story because I'm one person, like I create all of the work that comes out of Signalnoise, and I'm working with and commissioning somebody that's also a singular person working out of a workshop, and that there's no mass produced anything in this whole Reaper thing. So again, slowly over the last few weeks, this guy was coming to life, and it was getting more and more excited. He looks like he's kind of in a morgue right now, but slowly coming to life, and until eventually I got this box in the mail. And this is a little unboxing video that I put on Twitter. For those tuning in, you might have seen this. Really exciting. You can see me pause like when I'm pulling off this last little bit of tissue and then moving it because my hand, I don't know if you can see my hands trembling. But this is when I turned him around right there. That is the first time that I've seen the Neon Reaper in real life, and it was incredibly moving. I had tears in my eyes and stuff, and it was an incredible experience, and it's something that I can't really explain. It was incredible. So, and here he is. This is him, and I'll get him on camera. He's right next to me right now. But this is the final version of the Neon Reaper in physical form. And of course, I had to do some package design for this because that was the ultimate goal. So this isn't just an action figure. It's not actually an action figure at all. It's a resin art toy. It doesn't have any articulation or anything like that. But I wanted to do the blister pack because this harkens back to looking at all of those He-Man figures on all of the racks, right? And I knew that I wanted, like, this thing is never going to be hung anywhere, but I still wanted that little sombrero hole at the top, like it was going to be hung on a peg or something like that. Like, this is all stuff that I remember growing up, right? And I really wanted to get that hollow foil, man. Like, that was one of the things that I had to do. So again, this is a bespoke package. This isn't like, the printing obviously is machine made, but get that going again there. There you go. However, it's something like 5 or 6 pieces of heavy duty cardstock stacked one on top of each other and glued together. And again, it's a person in a print shop that's doing that. So all of these packages are handmade as well. And that was important to me because I didn't want to just send this off to like some big print company. They just slap the images or the design on a piece of cardboard and send it back to me. Like, this is all bespoke. This is stuff that the print company had to figure out before they sent back to me, because it's built in a certain way, and I'll get into that in a second. So here's the full package. Here's the Neon Reaper in the package, and again, all bespoke. That blister, here he is outside of it. And that blister, now if you look down at the bottom, I can't remember what my next slide is. Okay, yeah. If you look down at the bottom, you'll see like the blister is kind of going right down to the bottom of the card. And okay, I'll get to that in a second, but I make all of these damn blisters myself. I invested through people purchasing my crypto art. That allowed me enough to invest in this thing called a vacuum former machine. And this thing, DC, is scary as hell. It is. It heats up, it hooks up to a vacuum cleaner, and like that little like the cavity, the 3D cavity print is right next to it there in the mustard yellow. So that's what I'm putting on that little screen, and then the clear plastic is heated up on the top, and then it forms around, and then all the air is sucked out of it through the bottom. It's super scary. It's really hot, it's really noisy, and there's a timer on it and stuff that ticks. You just think it's going to blow up. But anyway, and the reason for me showing everyone this is because that blister, they're all made by me. So those are also handmade. Like, I'm going to be making every single blister on every single action figure that ships. Now, this is the part I wanted to show you, because you can see how the paper is pieced together on this blister, and it's designed that way so you can slide the blister off the bottom of the card. And then you can get the Neon Reaper out. And I'll show you, again, I have it right next to me. I'll show you when we're on camera. But this is a way of opening and closing your Neon Reaper without damaging the card. Because that's always been the thing when you get a new action figure, like, it looks so good in the package that you don't want to open it. But you want to open it. So this sort of solved it. This is an idea from my lovely wife. She came up with this idea and said you could design it to do that. And we worked with the print company, and they designed a way that the cardstock actually pinches the sides of the blister, the flange or whatever it's called, in place, so you can actually slide that thing on and off without destroying it. So you can display it inside or outside of the package, which is really important to me, because again, you want to open your action figures, but you don't want to open your action figures. So that's it. And an important part of this drop is, for every Neon Reaper sold, we're going to be planting 1,000 trees via ecology, because we all know that there's a big discussion going on about the environmental impact of NFTs and cryptocurrency in general. So this is a way for me to drop this and do my small part in trying to offset a little bit of that. So this is something that's really important to me, and it's something that me and my wife have put a lot of time and effort into to get the numbers right. But 1,000 trees, and we'll do this math at the end when I give the details on how many of these guys are available and what this might mean to ecology. Now check this dude out. Now when I was doing this very early on, I really wanted a special, a unique version of the Neon Reaper. So this is the Chrome Reaper, which I was really excited to do. He's exactly what he sounds like. He's going to be I got to try to remember the terminology. He's a resin art toy that has I think it's called vacuum metallization. So he has an exterior of true chrome, but he's a resin action figure on the inside, and that's going to be the process that we go through to make this chrome action figure. And we have a unique one-of-one packaging as well. So we have a lot of foil on this one, got some wireframe mountains and stuff, and here he is in the package. That's our boy, the Chrome Reaper. and he's going to be a unique one of one that's going to be available in the drop tomorrow. So here's both of the dudes next to one another, and here are the NFTs. So these are what's going to be available on Known Origin tomorrow at 6 p.m. And the Neon Reaper, there's an edition of 50 for 2 ETH each. And what happens is you purchase the NFT, you pop over to iwantnukes.com. I'll put that that URL on screen at the end of this, and you what do you call it? Connect your wallet. The website will detect that you have a Neon Reaper NFT, and then you can plug in your shipping address and your name and all that good stuff, and we'll have all the info ready to ship you the Neon Reaper or the Chrome Reaper, depending on what that is. So I'll just flip back. There we go. So again, going back to the ecology and the trees. So edition of 50, if we sell all 50 of those, that's 50,000 trees that we're going to be able to plant via ecology. And the Chrome Reaper, we're still working out the numbers on this, but if that sells for 2 ETH, then we'll do another 1,000. If it sells for 4, we'll do another 2,000, and we're just going to keep ramping it up depending on what it sells for. That might be wishful thinking, but we'll see. DC, you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. No, this is great. You keep going. We have a lot of questions.
Oh, sweet. Okay, great. No, that's cool. I'm almost done here. So here's the details. Tomorrow, Known Origin at 6 p.m. UK time. And if you want to be reminded of this, we have a mailing list or a little mailing thing set up at iwantnukes.com, a little email field. If you put in your email, we'll notify you an hour before these things drop if you want to be super on the ball and check that out. So iwantnukes.com, a big shout out to my wife, Naomi White. She took the reins on this. She took the reins by pushing me away from the website by my face. She's like, "You're not doing this website because it's going to stink if you take control of it." So she's awesome, and she put this website together in such a professional way. So if you want to go check this out, gang, iwantnukes.com. It's really nice. And again, I want to send a huge thank you. The Neon Reaper could not have been possible without the help of those who have supported my crypto art. I mean every word of that, because every dollar, every pound that was put into this project for producing the figures, producing the packaging, getting that damn vacuum former, getting shipping supplies, everything has been funded by those who have invested in my crypto art. So I took that ETH and I invested it into this project because this is a dream of mine. Like I said at the beginning, this whole project has been a dream of mine since I was a little kid to make my own action figure, and crypto art has allowed me to do that. And I have to give a huge shout out to everybody that supported my crypto art and that's made this possible. So thank you very much, everybody. And if you want to check out my Twitter, that's where I'm going to be, posting updates. If you want to stay updated on this, I'm going to have a lot of fun updates tomorrow, talking about the story of this and sort of reiterating a lot of the stuff I've talked about here. And we're going to do, the countdown. The countdown is on, man. We're under 24 hours away from this damn thing dropping. So this is the place to find me if you want to keep updated on everything. And DC and Whale, thank you again for having me, man. Like DC, we talked about, me coming back and talking about this prior to the release of Nukes, and here we are a day before, and it means a hell of a lot to me, man. So thank you so much for having me back and allowing me to talk about this. I really do appreciate it, man.
Oh, absolutely. It's the pleasure's all ours, basically. It's amazing. Yes, we're on the countdown. Push that down. And yeah, so you have two different pieces here, and this is what I wanted to talk about. You have the Reapers you could get, and you also have this Chrome Reaper, and that's going to be an auction, you say?
Yeah, it's going to be. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Yeah, it's going to be a 48-hour auction for the Chrome Reaper, and Known Origin doesn't have a countdown for their auctions currently, but we're going to do it. We're going to freebase it, man. So at 6 p.m. on Sunday is when the auction will end. And again, if anybody is interested in that, just follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep everybody posted on what's happening. And yeah, man, and good luck getting the Chrome Reaper. He's both of these figures, the Neon Reaper and the Chrome Reaper, are incredibly special to me. And if anybody shows interest in these, that means the world to me. So yeah, that's the plan.
Well, I'll tell you, it's so nice to have. So, I mean, you're doing this all by hand. I mean, the companies in the past, they produce this stuff, they mass produce it. A fun fact for everybody, I used to work for a plastic, industrial place, and I used to see actually the molds being created. And on the other side of the company, was the plastic, and boy, did that stink! I'll tell you. But yeah, I mean, it was quite the experience. Very cool. I got to drive a forklift, and that was the fun of it. But
Nice.
It's interesting. This is not, like you said, this is not mass produced. This is by hand. I mean, there's the painting. I mean, the paint you put on there is translucent, right? It's like, tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Well, here, how about this here? I got our boy right here. Here he is. So he's in the package. And I really wanted to show everyone this just to show the slide out blisters. So
yes, that's so much better than the toy. I used to just rip those things apart, and
exactly.
Then you throw them right away, right?
Yeah, and it was always a problem, right? So this here thing, I won't put the figure in there because I don't want to drop him or anything, but just to show, see if I can get this on camera. So I'm designing it. This here's the prototype, so bear with me. So yeah, and it slides right in place, and if you had the Reaper in there, it would be sealed. I'm going to put a little clear sticker on the bottom here just to hold it in because the Reaper is a little bit weighty, so this here thing might slide down. But this can sit on the shelf right like that. We designed it in a way that the blister is flush with the bottom, so you can't see it there, but it'll sit like straight up, so it'll be self-standing, I guess is what I'm saying. But yeah, let's talk about the Reaper a little bit. Here's our boy. He is glossy. Now, this is something that I was dubious about, and Evan was like, no, let's like put it in gloss because it makes everything like come together, all of the consistency in the paints and the colors and the sticker or the decals and everything. This is high-end automotive gloss. So this is the same kind of gloss that you would have on your car, which I didn't even know was possible for like an art toy. I've never seen an art toy that had this level of gloss before. So I opened it up, I was like, holy hell, like this is crazy. I've never seen an art toy that looks like this before. So that's what you're seeing there. See if I can get the light on it a little bit here. You're seeing automotive gloss. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And you can tell it. So I don't know if the light is going to be strong enough in here to pick it up, but the vest, the gray piece right in here has like an oil slick finish.
Yes.
So if you saw this in the sun, you'd be able to see it has kind of like greens and purples and stuff like that in there. But this light, I don't think it's weird LED lights that I have in here, so you can't really pick it up. But that's what that is. And little tiny decals, so he can get his biker patches. So that's the neon sun that I have in so many of my pieces of art. And he's from the city of Tezuka, and that name comes from the last name of the guy that invented Astro Boy, the godfather of manga. So the city of Tezuka is where the Neon Reaper is from.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Yeah, and so you showed in one of your pictures, and the crowd's loving it here. I'm just watching some of the comments. So shout out to the crowd. But you showed that there was little pieces of the Neon Reaper, and you connected them together, right? Like by hand. And what are you using to connect those? I'm just curious.
Oh, the figure itself is all like, this is all Evan. Like he does all of this. So it's all handmade. But Evan, what he does is like, let's say this arm is cast differently. Mm-hmm. And the hand is cast differently. And he takes it into, I don't know what program he uses to do it. I want to say ZBrush, but I'm not sure. He develops what he calls keys. So there's like it's like a little peg, mm-hmm. which is printed like it's part of the cast when they pour some resin in. So the arm has a little key on it, like a little peg that sticks in that way, and there's a hole on the upper body, and he uses glue, I assume, and just pegs it in. So he has to design how all of the mechanics of this, because he got my stupid 3D model that I sent him, piece of turd, and he had to go through it and like basically fix it, and it took him. I think he was being nice when he said, it didn't take that long, but I'm sure he's looking at it going like, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So the pieces, and this is funny because what I'm holding here is the prototype, and he's actually changed how this guy works. So initially in this one, the head is a separate piece, the upper body is a separate piece, the belt ring is a separate piece. Gotcha. Then there's, I think the belt and the torso, or the groin or the crotch or whatever, that's all one piece. And then the legs are individual pieces, and then both feet are individual pieces.
Yes.
Each arm is individual, and the hands are individual. And then he takes all these things, casts them all individually in resin, in molds that he made from the 3D render. And then he takes all of those casted pieces, cleans them all up, and then attaches them all together. And then, he does some of the painting, if not all the painting, and then attaches it all together. Gotcha. And then puts the automotive gloss over it. But one of the things he changed is he casted the head and the skull mask, that Casey Jones mask that he's wearing in there. He casted that all as one piece, and he was texting me going like, man, that thing is a pain in the ass to paint in there, man. So he actually redeveloped the model and recast the hood separate from the mask, and he has a key in there. So the new figures are going to have the mask and the hood separate, so he can paint them easier and attach them together.
Gotcha.
But it'll look exactly the same.
Wow. It's so, knowing what I know about plastic, and I know too much about plastic, that's amazing. Like, it's just amazing. I totally get the concept of the keys and the latches and everything, and then the glue for sure. It is, I mean, we're just seeing it, and it is very solid. It's very well put together. And that's the thing. This is all hand done. This isn't just molded out like you would see mass production, and and I've seen it, so I know.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
There's no machine made in any of this, and like I said, Evan Morgan, he's a man of his craft, and he is not going to send me this thing unless he's happy with it. And he toiled over this for a long time to get these things just right, and it was worth it. When this thing showed up again, like, I was tearing up and whatever, and it has a bit of weight to it as well, which is awesome, and it feels really, really sturdy. It surpassed all my expectations, and it was such a thrill, like, working with Evan at every step and seeing him put this thing together, because I know nothing about toy making. Like, I knew absolutely nothing about it, and to see him go through all of these steps to create this guy has been fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. He has little goddamn spikes on him. Look at that, like, crazy.
Wow. Oh man. That, and the paint job is just absolutely, I mean, there's a lot of people I'm sure watching, or will watch, that has tried to paint, different things. I know you're friends with a few people that have, I've seen on Twitter that have, painted those figurines and whatnot for what are the games, and it's hard. It's not easy. It's painting that. It's not easy. So this is like your next level NFT, right? This is like you're hitting that nostalgia that you're known for, and you're giving it to us back in an NFT, but also a figurine, and it kind of bridges that gap between childhood and now. I think you're hitting it.
I appreciate it. No, thank you. I mean, that's bring tears in my eyes, man. Like, it truly is a dream come true making this thing. And and another, I had to do this, and I had to get my other prop. I designed it to be at scale with Masters of the Universe figures. He can stand comfortably next to He-Man and kind of maybe make him feel a bit inferior, which is good. But it's designed, like, the style is heavily inspired by Masters of the Universe and Bruce Timm, who did the designs for, like, Batman the Animated Series and that kind of thing. So heavily inspired by that stuff. But it's developed 5.5 inches so it can stand next to Masters of the Universe, because I have a lot of those at the office, and I want this guy staring down Beastman,
Oh yeah, it's just incredible.
Thanks, man. Hey, I got one more thing to show you. I don't have the Chrome Reaper here, but I do have the one of one package.
Oh man,
yeah, that thing now. Like that. Look at that foil, man. And this is what I'm talking about. I got to give a big shout to my buddy Rick at Right Digital over here in the UK. He's the one that I met Rick a number of years ago through my buddy Al Wardle, NE40. And he hooked me up with Rick, and Rick is also a man of his craft. And, I sent this to him, this crazy idea with these, like, multiple levels of paper glued in a certain way so you can get the blister in there. And I said, can you do this like with foil and whatever? I sent him the files, and I'm just like, I don't even know if this damn thing is possible. And he just wrote back and he goes, leave it with me. That's what he always says. Leave it with me. And these things showed up a day later, and it's like, I tell you, man, like these things knocked my socks off my ass, as it were. And yeah, and that crazy foil and the Chrome Reaper right there. Like, man, it's a dream project, man. I can't stress that enough. It's really been a wild ride seeing this thing come together.
Well, I'm super excited, and I don't know if the viewers can see this, but I really hope they can. How thick that is. I mean, I've noticed it a few times, and you just don't get that level of thickness on anything these days, right?
Well, how about we do a comparison? How about this?
Yeah. Let's do one.
Let's get this jerk off the table. And let's do a comparison. I'll see if the camera can pick this up. So this is Skeletor right there. If you can see that, maybe we'll do the top. Maybe that might be better. See. So there's the thickness of that. And look at ours.
Wow.
Get it it's hard to get in there. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the difference in that thickness, man. And we did that because we really wanted this to A, not warp, and B, we wanted it to stand up like real straight and kind of like be the test of time. And this whole thing, like I said at the beginning, and I keep stressing it, like this is all bespoke. There's nothing machine made. There's nothing templated here. This is all designed by me and then sent to other people to try to figure out how to build this stuff, because this is an art release masquerading as an action figure. Really, I mean, I wanted to take everything I love, the essence of action figures growing up with these things, and I wanted to take all of these things, bump the quality way up on every part of it, including the packaging, and have people experience this as an art piece. Like that's ultimately what this is. It's a sculpture masquerading as an action figure, if you will. And that's sort of been the idea the whole time. And it's just a combination of everything I love mixed into an art project. And NFTs. Who knew? Yeah.
I mean, it's everything, and I love that. I love about what you just said was perfect, because, like you said, it's the quality, and right now, I mean, even growing up and living these past few years, everything is rushed and everything is kind of I don't want to say cheap, but you go to Walmart and you buy something and it's cheap, yes, but it doesn't last, and you just, these days everything's got to be fast. I mean, you gotta be fast, and what you see here is a project that is incredibly detailed, down to every inch of it. I mean, even the reflection off the box, everything. It slides in and out. I mean, you thought about things that were problems in the past, because you experienced those problems, growing up, where you wanted to keep the thing in the box, but you couldn't, because if you took it out, that'd be the end of the box,
Yeah, exactly.
So you've hit every single base here, and you're giving people a quality action figure art piece, like you said, a sculpture of everything that you've worked towards and accomplished. You're giving them a piece of you, and that's even because you said this is something that you've hand drawn back in the 80s. A concept that you've come up with, and I think that's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. So
I appreciate that, man. No, thank you. Sorry, I meant to show the back of this damn thing too. So all of this here is designed, but I listed everybody that bought a piece of crypto art from me. They're listed on the back here. So these are all the people, and of course I got some other friends and things in here too. But everybody that bought a piece of crypto art from me up until this point, your name is going to be emblazoned on the back of all the packaging for this guy too. And this is going to be wrong side. This is actually this was originally going to be what do they call it, an MFC chip or something, but this is actually going to be a QR code that's going to link directly to the page on iwantnukes.com that corresponds with the NFT that was purchased by the person that gets this. So at any time, you can, go up and pop your phone open and scan this QR code and go right to the page of your NFT that you bought that corresponds with that exact action figure. So that's the way of, I should have mentioned this earlier, but that's the way of linking the physical to the digital. And and that's something that's going to be on there.
Man, this is like trending. It's groundbreaking. It's fresh. And I know we only have a few minutes, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say, is this the first of a line of action figures?
Oh man, I hope so, DC. Like, I don't want to be presumptuous because I don't know, with these NFT drops, like, it's a crapshoot, man. Like, I don't have Nifty Gateway or Super Rare or Maker's Place or any of these platforms that have massive audiences. We don't have that behind this. Known Origin, I got to give a big shout out to Known Origin. Those guys have had my back at every step of the way, and have helped me out a lot with this. Me and Naomi with developing the website. So this is with they have a small crew at Known Origin. We're a small crew. I got a small crews of people that have been working on the packaging, and Evan working on the action figures. This is all really like grassroots, and that's why I appreciate you having me on here again, man. Because, like I said, we don't have a marketing juggernaut like those big platforms behind us. So it's I don't know what to expect. To answer your question, I don't know what to expect tomorrow. But if we sell enough, hell yeah, I know who the next figure is going to be already, and I would love to get that moving as soon as possible. So I will say I hope so. I hope this is the first of many Nukes figures, because I got no shortage of characters, man. Like, I got 25 ready to go.
Man, that would be amazing. It would be so cool to collect the whole series. And I mean, the sky's the limit with the project, right? You could design comic books, you could design all kinds of stuff. And you know what? You may not have these. I mean, Known Origin is amazing. I love the site. I love everything about it. I love that they're supporting you. But you got the well community, so
right. Hey, I appreciate that.
We love having you on, and we love you here. So I hope wholeheartedly that everything goes good. I don't have any fears. I don't have any doubts. I think it's going to be great, and I wish you the best.
I appreciate that, DC, man. And again, you said it back when we were talking before. You wanted to have me on before the drop, and I really ignore limit. Sorry, one sec. There we go. I have my stupid screen time thing set on, so it just blanks out on me in the middle of my thoughtful thoughts to you. Like, you told me back then you were going to have me on again, and you honored that. And I really appreciate it, because I know, like we said, things move fast in the crypto art world, and I really appreciate you having me on here to talk about this and tell the story, man. It's very touching, and everybody that is tuned in, wherever you are, Twitter, Discord, thank you for checking this out, and for just having interest in what this thing is, man. Because, like I said, this is a dream project. It's 40 years in the making, sort of, if you want to get dramatic with the language. But it's something that means a lot to me. And if people are interested in it, that's a massive, massive bonus. So thank you very much for everything, DC and everybody else.
Oh man, I could tell you the pleasure's all ours, for sure. For sure. Well, any final words you want to leave our crew with before we cut off?
Oh man, I hope you are all safe and healthy, and you're doing okay during these weird times. And I hope you're having fun, and we're all in this together, and let's keep supporting one another and keep patting each other on the backs, and keep the momentum going, man, and stay rad.
Stay rad. I love it. That's definitely gonna stay rad. That's for sure. Yes. All right. Well, we're signing off. We'll say goodbye, and then tomorrow. So tomorrow, what time does it start? Give us the time.
Yep. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time. So,
6 p.m.
Yep.
Right.
Known Origin. The countdown is on both NFTs on Known Origin right now. There's a big countdown right at the top of iwantnukes.com. And, sign up for that email. We're not going to spam you. You'll literally get one email at 1 hour before they drop if you want that reminder. And I'll be downstairs watching this thing like a hawk, scared to death. And, so I hope to see you there.
Yes, please go there. And so, okay, 6 o'clock UK, quick math, that is 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the US. That is, oh boy, now you're going to see my terrible math skills.
I can only do back to Nova Scotia, Canada, where mom and dad are listening to this right now and probably watching. And that's 4 hours difference, I think. Oh, we changed time.
Okay. Yeah. I think we're on the same time zone. I think.
Are you Eastern?
I am Eastern. Yes.
Right.
And then 3 hours behind. That's Pacific Standard Time. That's on the coast. That's where it was used to be from. But yeah. So 2, and then you minus 3, and then you get yourself 2, 1, 12, 11 PST. Does that sound right?
Right. Yeah.
That sounds right. Okay, but there's a timer on Known Origin that's going to tell you everything.
Yeah, that timer is way smarter than DC and I.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Computers are smarter than me for sure in math. So we're gonna set up the links. We're gonna send that to the Discord. So we got the I Want Nukes website. We got James. He's got a Twitter account. It'll be there. So, we'll put those up. And then, of course, we'll put this on YouTube and put some links up too. So, yeah, let's go.
I appreciate that, DC. Thanks so much, man.
All right. We'll talk to you soon again. Next time.
Later, dude. Yeah.
Next time.
Next time.